back now, Dr. Qanta Ahmed, joining us from Israel. She's been on, well, we were on our special coverage yesterday as well, but this was before we knew about the Iranian response. What's your assessment of how Iran chose to respond?
Hi, Connell. Actually, tonight I'm in Amman, Jordan. Thank you very much to Jordan, which has helped me exit the war zone. This is very interesting, and I have sources that are very credible that advise me that this strike was actually coordinated. The U.S. was informed some hours previously. I'm not certain if I understand correctly, but it may have been something that was also clearly signaled to Qatar in advance. This is an effort for the Iranian regime to try and project power to its domestic population, which it's certainly looking extremely weak towards, and to give it a sense of saving face. The United States and President Trump will not be provoked and will not escalate this further. But I would strongly hope and advise that Israel maintains the intense pressure on the Islamist regime. And they have penetrated layers of the military intelligence assets. If not, this Islamist regime may emerge from this like a cat with 9 lives, and that would be disastrous for the Iranian people.
Okay, play that out a little further for us if you can. If the U.S. does not have the incentive to go further, why would Israel not want to scale back as well?
Israel needs to ensure that this regime can never come back because it has shown consistently it has a lethal, genocidal, eliminationist anti-Semitism that it plans to prosecute on the Jewish state. There's no question about that. You're seeing expats, well-heeled expats in Doha, frightened by these overhead missiles. I've gone through that numerous times myself. The Israelis have been living with this for years. There have been over 30,000 projectiles on Israel since October 7th, all of them ballistic missiles or drones weaponized, causing tremendous loss of life and impact on the economy. So that mission has not changed. If this Islamist regime gets to survive this round, they are only going to redouble their efforts. The fact that we needed such massive ordnance to destroy the Fordow and other related sites tells you how protected their nuclear weaponized ambitions are. So the pressure has to remain on. And just because President Trump does not send a military retaliation at the moment does not mean there couldn't be one in due course, depending on how the GCC nations are implicated if Iran starts to become more belligerent and overestimates its need to save face or regain some confidence. Don't forget, Iranian officials that are going to Geneva or New York are seeking permission from Israel to use Iranian airspace. That's the real dynamics in that space.
Dr. Ahmed, I want to ask you about something that you just said. You said you have sources who said that there was some sort of maybe coordination, that Qatar knew that this was going to happen ahead of time. I've wondered about that because Qatar closed down their airspace several hours before the attacks, and then it was the Qatari missile defense systems, according to the Qatari government, that actually intercepted the missiles, almost like they were given a warning. Do you think that there's almost a plan at play here, like, hey, we'll take down these missiles, then everything can simmer down, and that Qatar actually knew about all of this?
I think it is the United States that was given the advance signal, and the United States would have informed Qatar, because that is the home of the base that houses not only 11,000 U.S. troops, but also the British Air Force and the Qatari Air Force and other foreign air forces. So, yes, Qatar signaling the Air Force means that it got a heads up, but I would have thought that's at the last minute. If I'm understanding my information correctly. Yes, I think this was orchestrated and it was somewhat performative in an effort to allow Iran some form of an off-ramp. But I want to keep the Iranian people in mind as much as the Israeli people. They have been brutalized, murdered, disappeared, tortured by this regime for 46 years. As a Muslim woman, I'm particularly sensitive to the fate of women and girls in that country, but men as well. And you heard today that there was a strike on the Irvin prison, which is home to all kinds of atrocities and violations of human rights, such as the Iranian regime giving Iranian protesters a summary 2-minute trial where the judge is judge and jury and then sentences them to death. So this regime does not deserve any second chances of any kind.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.